It's Melissa and David.
David, you've been waiting for this all day, man.
I have been. I've been real excited about this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor John Bell Edwards.
Pretty awesome, man.
Thank you.
So, what brings you to town?
Well, we've actually been trying to get to the Alexandria area for a while, and we're able to put it together today. We've been extremely busy, as you can imagine. We've had 3 natural emergencies in terms of flooding and the river and tornadoes. We've had a special session. Now we're nearing the end of a 3-month regular session to be followed by a second special session. But the opportunity to be here today presented itself, and I was able to have an early morning meeting with a young professionals group. Left there and went out and cut the ribbon on the new bridge between Alexandria and Pineville. The Curtis Coleman Bridge, which I know you all probably thought would never get finished.
Right, it took them a little while.
It took 5 years at $83 million, but it is a spectacular bridge, and it's a real investment in this community. Went to the Rotary meeting here today in Alexandria. Followed that up with a visit to a church and to the VA, and
good.
And here I am.
That's awesome. Yes. So you saved the best for last. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, the last is
food, probably.
Supper with the sheriff.
There you go.
Well, I'm enjoying myself.
Well, it's a close second, is what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
And you signed the executive order on January 12th, making Louisiana the 31st state to expand Medicaid. So we're going to get $184 million from this?
We will save $184 million. We will get a lot more than that, and it'll turn over in our economy, and we're going to buy a lot of health care. We're going to hire a lot of doctors and nurses and other folks as well. Over the next several years, it will be billions of dollars that will turn over in our economy that wouldn't have come otherwise. But the actual savings to the state in the first year alone are $184 million. Incredibly important because we have a shortfall. I inherited the largest budget deficit in the history of our state, which was going to be $2 billion for next year. But after the first special session, that's been whittled down to $600 million. That $600 million shortfall is still a very, very big number. So the $184 million in savings is incredibly important. And all we're doing is making our tax dollars work for us. We're bringing them back from Washington instead of them going to 30 other states so that their working poor get health care coverage and their providers get reimbursements for the care they're providing to that population. We're just bringing those dollars home and putting them to work for our working poor. And by the way, 70% of these people have full-time jobs in things like construction, tourism, retail, and we're going to bring those dollars home. We're going to provide that care here, provide the reimbursement to our providers, and also make sure that our employers have a healthier, more productive workforce. So I think it's the right thing to do for all of those reasons, but the savings are incredibly important given the current fiscal problems that we're having in the state of Louisiana.
And if you don't mind me asking, you served with the 82nd Airborne, right?
I did, yes.
So would you rather do a night jump or deal with this budget?
Where do I put the parachute on? I would do a bunch of night jumps. In fact, we're here in Alexandria. 2 of the jumps that I made were into Fort Polk for JRTC training. Yes, while I was a company commander in 82nd, we did 2 rotations there and had really some of the best training in my entire Army. Experience was right here in Louisiana at Fort Polk. It's the most realistic training anywhere in the world for light infantry forces, and I will tell you, it's a real crown jewel for the Army, which is why I believe the future of Fort Polk is safe. But we can't take it for granted. We have to always work. And I met with the new general the other day at Fort Polk to make sure that he understood our commitment. And as I visit the folks in Washington, I'm going to do likewise.
Right. Now, I got an important question.
Oh,
like, are you Team Blake or are you Team Miranda? Like Lambert? Like, which one are you going?
Oh,
come on.
I'm Team Willie Nelson.
There you go. All right, I can't argue.
I don't do a lot of the more modern country music. I do like it, okay, but not as much as the older stuff.
Or Sammy Kershaw.
Yeah, Sammy.
I love Sammy Kershaw. His songs are all over my phone.
So what would be your all-time favorite country song if you have one?
Oh, that's easy. No, it's He Stopped Loving Her Today.
Oh, some George Jones. You threw before KRRV.
That goes way back to when I was in middle school, but that's the music that we listened to, and I just don't know that there'll ever be a better country song.
Well, they say that is the country song of all time. So.
Well, I don't know that I'd ever heard that. I know for me it was because George Jones was the best, and in my opinion that was the song.
There. See?
Well, I hope you brought a barbecue pit to the governor's mansion.
Barbecue pit?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't, but there is one there, and they let me use it when I need to. But
because we're just going to come a knocking one day. We'll bring some burgers.
Don't scare him away, David. Don't scare him away, man.
Oh, I think they'd pick me off before I got over the
Is that
fence.
what it
Yeah,
is?
no problem.
Too funny.
Speaking of, with your elite military background, your life is just made for a screenplay. Who would you want to play you?
well, you see, I've already had to answer this question in a
That figures.
in a forum.
See, you thought you were being
A
original.
screenwriter.
We were at one of the very first forums. It was in Hammond, Louisiana, at Southeastern University, and the students got to ask the questions, and all the candidates for governor were up there, and they all gave various answers, and I had to think on the feet, and I knew that Tom Cruise had done some
How's it
military
going?
movies,
Uh-huh.
and he's a fairly good-looking man, and
Almost good-looking
I thought
enough.
it might work out, so I said Tom Cruise, and I can't give a different answer today.
Right, you got to stick with that. Well, David was saying probably Bruce Willis? Is that what you said?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but they'd have to,
Yeah.
young Bruce Willis up a little bit.
But I
No,
told him
Bruce
that you
would
would
be
have
fine.
to write in this so that Sandra Bullock could play me and Matthew McConaughey could play him. That's
All right.
That would work. That would work.
totally right.
We have
Absolutely welcome.
Governor John Bell Edwards with us, and thank you very much for giving us this time today. I know you were very busy, had a lot of things going on, and we thank you for that.
Absolutely.
No, thank you.
And I understand you have a chicken coop.
Which is kind of cool.
How cool is that? At the governor's mansion,
Or
right?
were you
Yes,
the
it's-
first?
It's in the backyard. I don't know that I'm the first. Nobody can remember there being chickens in the backyard before, but my wife and kids and I, we've had chickens for years, and we really wanted to have chickens, and the zoning in Baton Rouge actually allows for it. I've got a big enough place there at 8 acres. I could actually have roosters, but out of deference to my neighbors, I don't have
Yeah,
any
that's-
roosters
Yeah, that's
because
probably
they
a
make
good
the
thing.
noise. and
See,
I-
that's thoughtful.
That's right, but I do have 16 hens and a chicken coop that we built for them, and
funny.
it's really nice. And I couldn't just put any chicken coop back there. It had to be something that sort of matched, because we have a lot of kids who visit the mansion. They take field trips and they eat their picnic back there, and they go through the vegetable garden. And now they're going to get a chance to look at the chicken coop. So I've got 16 chickens there, and we are excited because in a couple of weeks they should start laying.
Right.
So it's neoclassical design,
That's
kind
what I
of
was
to
gonna
match the
ask.
governor's man pillars.
Is it like a little mini
All I'm
chicken
gonna
governor
tell you,
mansion?
it was a fairly expensive coop. I don't ever want to know what a dozen eggs cost me.
Right.
But it's air conditioned when the wind blows. That's what I'll
funny.
tell you, because the word got out that it was air conditioned. That isn't true. Only when the wind blows.
But you did it yourself. This is not state funds, right?
Correct.
Right.
Well, I paid for it myself.
Right.
I had some friends who were the carpenters to put it together,
Right.
and I helped a very little bit. But I'm not that talented at that work.
That's
but
pretty
yeah.
funny. That makes you really cool, just so you know.
Well, thank you.
Well, whenever you moved into the governor's mansion, did you find anything laying around that Jindal left, like a pack of cigarettes and,
So-
in the back of the governor's desk
What
drawer?
are you asking
anything,
that
a
for?
water pistol or any weird items that
That's
they
so
left?
weird.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't found any weird things that they left, but it's neat because in the desk at the mansion and there's a desk at the fourth floor of the Capitol, all the governors who've used those desks before sign the
that's
bottom
cool.
of the center drawer desk, it's the center desk drawer, and to open that up and see their signatures. Of course, I've got Edwin Edwards, Kathleen Blanco, and I think Mike Foster and Bobby Jindal.
That's
all
cool.
have signed
That's
that desk.
awesome.
So that was pretty neat. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was going to be there. I
Right.
just saw it the first time I opened
No
it.
Buddy Romer?
I don't think. I think he used a different desk. That's what I'm told.
Well,
But
I could probably manage a signature.
You figure you can do that? You can work.
No problem.
Well, I mean, and I know you got to run and all that stuff, but is there anything else that you'd like to
Well,
talk
I just
about?
want to tell the people of Louisiana I'm very honored to be the governor. It is a difficult set of challenges that we've inherited, but we are going to fix our problems. We're going to stop kicking the can down the road. And when you inherit a large budget deficit and you have a constitutional obligation to balance the budget, there are no options that are appealing to people.
Right.
You either raise revenue, you reduce spending, or you do both. And we're proposing to do both. We're going to get it done, and we're going to put our state back on a stable path. And I'm asking the people to work with us. And certainly, I spent 2 years crisscrossing the state asking for votes and prayers. Well, I'm speaking to you today because I got
Right.
enough votes. But under these circumstances, the governor can never have enough prayers. And I don't just ask for prayers for myself, but for all the leadership in Baton Rouge and for the state as a whole, because I believe in the awesome power of prayer. And we are going to get this done. I'm convinced. We're going to make this a state that's worthy of our children and our grandchildren. And it's going to take a lot of hard work. And we didn't get into this problem overnight. overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight, but I'm committed to it. And there are enough legislators, Republicans and Democrats, who are working with me in good faith that I just know we're going to be able to get it done.
Well, thank you for taking the time to stop by and hang out with us two goofballs.
Well, thanks to y'all. I would never call you goofballs, but thanks to the listeners as well. I appreciate the opportunity to be with y'all today.
Melissa and David, live on 100.3 KRRV.